sway when I walk, boy. Hello, hello. What's up, everybody?
I'm just pulling the chat over towards me. All right, guys, what's going on? Dude, you have the camera facing the wall.
Busy morning.
Just morning. That's every morning. If not physically busy, it's mentally busy. Contemplating taking a long 30 more year lunch break or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my favorite work prank is that, all right guys, I'm gonna take a quick lunch and then I just don't come back. Gets them every time, they're always confused. All right, we're good?
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Finally, welcome back. We are doing an assassin build today. So going in that is going to be the 9800X3D on the MAG X870E carbon Wi-Fi. And then obviously you guys can all see it. We're going to be running a 5080 in this as well. So, oh man, and they chose 4 terabytes of storage. And then cooling that 9800X3D is going to be the Arctic Liquid Freezer Pro RGB edition. So, honestly, dude, I'm happy because the assassin is always, that is number one. The Torrent, you guys will see the Torrent here in a second. That has to be my favorite case in shop in terms of like performance. And then we also offer the assassin. If people like the blacked out look, we offer it with a Noctua NHD 15, and that is my favorite build. That is my favorite build. Just NHD 15 Torrent case, big fans, big air. CPU was already socketed, so that is one thing I don't have to do. One thing I love this board, dude, but there's just like this acrylic, not acrylic, but like this kind of a see-through plastic piece, and I hate how they get the cellophane like under it, so you have to like, because sometimes it rips and then you have to put like tweezers under it to pull it out.
It's annoying. I wonder why they do that.
There's a lot of things I wonder why people do.
Alright. What's up, Trade and Jimmy? How's it going?
They are going with the low profile, blacked out Kingston Fury Beasts. These guys, if you're new here, I am a blackout build type of guy. So in-house, these are my favorite 6 of RAM. I know it's blasphemy being a gamer that doesn't do RGB, but that's just how I roll, man. We are gonna put the SSD down into a lower lane, just because this top lane is a Gen 5 and the SSD is a Gen 4. So if anyone upgrades and picks up a Gen 5 SSD, that way that top lane is available to you. Honestly though, for gaming, there's been a lot of tests showing that Gen 4 is still that perfect spot for gaming. So this drive is still perfect. If it's mainly a gaming build, that's really all you're ever gonna need for quite a while. Grab one. Minimal RGB is best. I like small accents. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, when I did have RGB in my system, it was like a blacked out, like monochromatic build. So it had like the case was black with some silver accents, and I had some like 2 or 3 lights in there that were just white, like a more dim white color. So it was just this monochromatic look. And then my last case, the North, which I still have, my build's just not in it. That was just black and wood. Like I even tried to put wood inside the case on the cooler. That I put a light strip at the top and bottom, and I just gave them that faint, like if anyone's seen like the old antique light, that faint like orangish glow.
Yeah.
I just put an LED strip, hit it, and I just put that faint orangish glow in there to give it more of like a rustic, antique look.
504 mix that, so now you're too good for the LGB. I'm assuming that meant RGB.
No, I'm not too good for it. It's one of those things that I'm always one of those guys that I accept everything, even if it's not for me. Like, I think RGB looks cool. Like, when we finish RGB PCs, I will sit there and say, that looks sick, because it does. I just tend to, it looks sick from a distance. Like, it's just not what I like having on my desk, right? But, like, I think it looks cool. I'm just a very vanilla, bland, boring dude.
What is up, Brett M?
My desk is black and wood. Yeah, I'm a very big fan of walnut. So, I even got like walnut wraps that I put. So the NHD 15, you can get the Chromax covers on. That's right, this is AMD because the Intel one is contact plate.
I used to like my RGB scenes moving, but now I've mostly static one color.
Yeah, that's how I was too, is I would just do like a faint color and I'd just keep it on static. And the only reason I put RGB in that North case was strictly because the North was what do you call it? Dark tinted glass. So if you didn't have any light on, even though you had tempered glass on the side, if there was nothing lighting it, you wouldn't even see the inside of the computer. And I tried not to do too much RGB because I'm not a fan. Like, again, it's just like a personal thing. I love wood. So like I love the wooden cases, and I just don't, just for me personally, I don't like the wood with RGB. I think that takes away from the rustic, like antique-y look. So like when I do wood, I like just the blackout color scheme. Now I gotta take my PC to the tint shop.
What's up, Angel?
Bring back the beige? Dude, I'll send a, actually I did send it to Brad. I have beige in my PC. It's in the Discord.
Is it? Oh, yeah, you sent it to me. But
I have to send an updated one, because I also changed to the new G2 fans. I still have the regular D15 cooler, but I changed to the G2 fans. So my case is wood, black, beige, and brown. And I even got like a Noctua theme cables. Cables don't look good because the glass isn't on. But once the glass is on, you can't even see those GPU cables and stuff. All right. Now it's time to break out the case, the main attraction of it.
Put your,
Oh, you don't have to put it up. I was just showing you.
Oh.
There's beige in there. I mean, you can put my build up. Like I said, I have to update the photo because I did change the cooler fans. Whoop. Did you put it up?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. They're there.
Oh, yeah. Yep, that's my little guy. See, that's how I like my computers.
That looks stupid clean.
I try, man. Good morning,
Don't
man.
forget to hydrate.
Good morning, gentlemen. It's 81 degrees. I know it. 68% humidity. Yeah, I'm leaking it. The outside chores are done. I'm now inside watching stream, making new additions to my PC, and later a brand new build from the wife. That's awesome, man. But yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it is hot. I am very much like a space heater human being. So once it hits like 75, that's when I start to sweat. Like I'm just drenched. 65 year-round type of guy, if that is possible. What? What's happening with my back plate?
Need to see
There we
some
go.
more Nick pics on the YouTube.
Yeah,
I agree.
I can't. It's just hard, man. Like, I'm always here to talk about it, peripherals, because I do love, like, I still have a bunch of mice. I picked up some new ones. I still love headphones. Still love monitors. I actually got a new monitor. Ooh, November, October, got a new monitor.
You have the LED one.
Well, I had, like, the original launch, like, OLED from LG that was
Yeah.
240 hertz. Christina wanted an OLED, so I let her have that one. And Samsung, it's a Samsung panel, but like, so whenever you see monitors, guys, if it's like MSI, Asus, Samsung, LG, Acer, chances are the panel is still Samsung or LG. And then other people, they just put their own like form factor on it, cooling system in it, and sometimes they'll like overclock it with extra cooling to give it more brightness. But it's usually Samsung or LG panels. Samsung made a QD OLED 1440p panel that was 360 hertz, and they were at like the $600 range.
Oh wow!
So I picked one of those. The one I got was the Gigabyte Aorus one because it had, of that panel, it had the least amount of VRR flicker. Which, if you guys have ever seen it, like sometimes on OLEDs, it's not in game, you don't notice it, but sometimes in black loading screens or black scenes, like, and you'll see this slight like flickering. And yeah, and it's like a gloss, and like I like QD OLED over WOLED. WOLED's what I had last time. WOLED, the big difference is WOLED refracts light better. So if you're in like a living room or an office where you have a lamp on or there's like natural light, it will do better not that not bothering you. And but QD OLED, you definitely want to play in a darker, dimmer room, but the colors look a little better on QD OLED.
Okay.
So, and I play in a dark room. I fucking hate my lamps.
Yeah.
I think I turn my lamps on once a day, and that's like once I turn off my computer, I just click it on real fast so I can see the TV remote, and I turn on the TV, and then that lights the room, and then I turn the lamp back off, and that way I can make it back to my bed and have the TV. Is there a channel giveaway today?
Not today.
Oh, is yours 504? Is your MSI monitor the 360 hertz 1440p? Because if it is, you and I have the same monitor. Because like I said, it's the same Samsung panel. Off topic, if I want to upgrade a build to a Gen 5 SSD, do I need to send it back? No, if you're just going to buy your own SSD, we don't usually have people send that stuff back. Just because that is such an easy thing. There's very little, nothing essentially that could go wrong from installing it because it plugs in like an old memory card. Like you just take off this top lane, plugs in, clicks down, and you just put this plate back on.
But still send us an email before you do anything.
Yeah, the MSI Mag 271, and then there was like the UX and US version of that MSI. It was like the U271 UX or UXR or whatever. There was two versions of it. Same panel. One of them just had USB 3s on the monitor, and one of them didn't. And it's like, I mean, I don't plug USB devices into my monitor. So yeah, you and I have the same exact monitor then. I just have the Aorus variant of it. But same monitor, and dude, it's great. Because like now they're getting to the point where I can't remember who did it. It wasn't LG. Maybe it was. It was. I can't remember who just did it, but someone just released a 500 something hertz OLED. It's like that's a little too far for me. Like when that gets down in like 3 or 4 years, if that gets down to like the $500 range, maybe. But right now, 360 hertz is great. Asus did that, yeah. Awesome, that's what I was hoping for. I'll keep you updated. Won't be anytime soon. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Gen 5 drives, it's super easy. Honestly, though, yeah, like you can wait it out, man. Wait for those prices to drop. Wait for a Black Friday sale, then pick one up, and it's super easy to install. And you can always ask us questions too. You can always call if you need help installing it, anything like that, and we'll walk you through it. But it really is like an old school like PS2 memory card. SSDs, they just plug in and work. All you have to do is just on your desktop just format it, and that is essentially just clicking on the hard drive and hitting next 5 times, and that's good to go. I'm still like I like the smaller form factors, Brad. I still keep debating on when that Noctua edition case drops just to pick it up. It's the habit, man. Just because I'm a huge shill for Noctua.
Should have gotten you a Noctua hat instead of AMD.
That'd be awesome, dude. Like browns, greens, like earthy tone is the color of choice for what I wear. So if you guys find a Noctua hat, dude, just like a beige hat with the owl on it, I'd wear that every day. Where did I put? Oh, I just had it. Did I not take it off? I did. Brad, would you mind? Oh, that's where they went. I see him.
Short Talk said you have to pronounce the Tua now.
Tua.
Not McRoom.
Not Tua.
Or maybe that joke's dead, I don't know.
I think that joke died when she did a crypto scam, right?
Yeah.
Like, didn't she do a crypto scam and then play victim? Like, oh, I didn't know it was a scam. They just told me I'd get all this and get to run away with a bunch of money, and it seemed like a good deal.
I mean, it's totally possible she just didn't understand it was a scam.
This is my thing, man. Didn't she make, like, the first day that meme became big and, like, there was a bunch of,
Oops, I flipped on this rug. Sorry, everybody.
Wasn't it, like, a thing, like, that first day the meme was big? Didn't she make, like, $2 million in one day from merch?
I have no idea.
See, that's the thing. I had no ambition to be well known on the internet or by people at all. I would hate people invading my life. So all I'm saying though is if I became a meme and people sold that my merch and I made $2 million in a day, I would literally just sit at home and retire and just invest it and just never work again, man.
Yep.
I would come in here for fun. I'd be like,
Yeah.
I want to build a PC. I'll just come in. But I would never like start a podcast and start this and try growing my name up, because I feel like I feel like a lot of people like are obsessed with the idea of getting to the top, and even if it's like small things like a CEO of a company, and I'm very much like I hate the spotlight.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't have ambition. I wish I could just be ambitious from the shadows. Like, what's his name? Who's the guy that created the Nier games? He always wears a mask, so no one's seen his face. That would be me. If I was a CEO, I would always have a mask, so no one could see me.
The YouTuber guy? Is that who you're talking about?
No, he's not a YouTuber. It's just the guy who created the Nier games, the Nier series.
Oh.
No one has seen his face because he always wears a mask.
Just be Batman.
Yeah.
Just be Batman. 504 Nick said. Mix. I said Nick.
Yeah.
Sorry. 504 Mix.
I couldn't be Batman, man. I wouldn't have the heart to not kill someone who just murdered like 50 people.
Yeah.
I'd sit there, I'd like fight for the death penalty in Gotham. I'd be like, guys, this fucking clown has escaped 30 times. He's killed over 100 people every time he does it. Like, when are we just gonna say, maybe put him down? Like,
He keeps escaping.
yeah, he keeps just walking out of here, and then he's banging the therapists, and they are falling in love with it. Maybe this guy's a problem.
You know, there's like, aren't there like 1,500 billionaires in the U.S.? I mean, there's over 1,000 billionaires now in the U.S., I think. I'm pretty sure. 830. Okay, maybe it's 1,400 in the world.
That's like half of them almost here.
Now there's 3,000. Wow. 3,000 billionaires. There's 800 and some billionaires in the U.S., and not one of these lazy bastards is bothered to do that. Like,
Or Iron Man.
Or Iron Man, or any of that.
Dude,
There's hundreds of billionaires, and there's none of these people are bad.
I can't even imagine what I would do if I had $1 billion.
Same thing you would do if you had like $50 million, whatever you want.
But what I want is just to like occasionally travel and sit on my ass all day.
Dude, at a certain point, you don't need $1 billion. You can do that with like, a couple million.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I would never want a nice car. I would never want a big fancy house. Like, I just don't like that stuff.
I would do it.
I'd get like a nice Forester if I had a family.
A Forester.
Yeah, like a $35,000 SUV, dude.
Nick
Nothing
wants
crazy.
a Subaru Forester. Nick is secretly a blue-haired look that wants a Subaru Forester.
When did they, dude? No, what's crazy is like how cars like change people. Because remember when we were in high school, it was like Honda boys,
right?
And fake race cars.
Yep.
And you get all the kids that wore snapbacks, and they'd either get
Yeah.
a Civic or they'd get like
With the fart can exhaust,
or they get a Volkswagen like GT Golf.
a Golf or a GTI.
And then it was Subi kids
Yep.
that wanted a WRX, and then
Yep.
Subarus switched over to old people cars, like old ladies driving Outbacks, and now they're lesbian cars.
Right. Dude, my mom drives now.
I'll take an old lady car, but dude, it's just like honestly, it's just because we're in Illinois, so it's like just having where we're at having all-wheel drive, and I'm an old man, so it's like the number one safety.
LD Grunt goes, you would own a PC building company.
Me?
No, if I was a billionaire, I would not own a PC building company. I would not own any companies if I was a billionaire. I would be comfortably retired
Yeah,
for sure. I 100% would be like not even involved in anything. I'm not trying to like win capitalism or whatever, dude. I'd like to get rich because I'd like to leave money to my kids and stuff. But
Yeah.
but I don't really. I mean, I like nice shit, but
TJ is quite bougie.
not that. I would never drive like a Rolls or anything like that. Like I like nice stuff, but I would not, be driving like Rolls Royce fan.
Also, I think I'm too big for any nice cars. Like a person down the road from us bought like an old horse stable and turned it into a car garage, and he has like Ferraris and stuff in there, and like it's a convertible Ferrari, and I've like sat in it, and the window's like.
Oh
this
yeah,
high.
dude, you're way too tall.
And I'm like, I couldn't fit in them anyways. And the speed limit's 45. Like, so like who?
Yeah. Right.
You're like, I do 45 in my Impreza. What?
Yeah.
I don't need a.
Yeah, I just don't care. And you know what? Lesbians have good taste because I like Subarus. So that's something. That's two things we have in common now. Two interests we can share.
Yeah, I didn't buy the Ferrari because I'm too tall and sexy. I have my Nissan Sentra from 1999.
Sentras are nice. Jacob has a Sentra. No, he has an Ascent. Or not Ascent.
Ultima.
Ultima. I don't know why I said Ascent is not even Nissan.
Guess what email I just got?
What?
I've been invited to the Chrono Odyssey.
Did you just sign up for it?
No, I signed up for it. I think a couple weeks
Yeah, everyone's a piece of shit, dude.
We're playing that tonight.
I'm not like it's like an alpha. Like one thing I don't like about modern MMOs, like playtests,
Yeah.
is that like most modern MMOs, it's still why I'm excited for Ashes of Creation, is because they're going back to the leveling being a core part of the game. But most MMOs, like the playtests, it's usually fun for me to play just test the gameplay and then back out because you don't get to end game in like the playtest, you know. And most MMOs, that's all they want to design them around is end game. So when you can't playtest the end game, like the early game is usually kind of meh.
Yeah.
So I'm not expecting the greatest things from the playtest because, like I said, the actual core part of the game is probably not in there. I mean, if you just got the email, maybe I got it. It's just crazy that my buddy signed up like 2 days ago and got it yesterday. Oh, this is what I hate having to take out of the case. Big 200mm fans. Subaru is awesome. However, I do have a lot of lesbian friends. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm an old man, guys. I've been an old man since I was born, and like I just care about enough space for me, and it's safe. Because I'm a good driver, but I hate everyone else. Dude, you know what I hate? I hate when oh, the only time I'm like the most calm, patient guy.
Yeah.
Except when I'm driving. And I hate the people. There's a certain turn I have to take. You know where the hospital is?
Yeah.
So when I have to turn left, there's 2 left turn lanes. One of the left turn lanes, the rightmost, is for entering the hospital. Because you turn, you're in the right lane now, and that lane ends at the hospital entrance. So it's meant for people going to the hospital. And I hate the people who stack in that lane and then they floor it at like 60 on this turn so they can cut off and get in front because they have no intention of going to the hospital. They just want to cut off. And it's like, it's just that mindset of I have to be that one car spot in front that will get me to work an hour sooner.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you're late, man. You're going to be late regardless. Like that one car spot isn't going to change anything.
Hey, Benji.
And
Sure,
that stuff
pay for
annoys me.
If you buy it, we will build it.
But what is fun is when you see those people on like 31 or 12 just like bobbing and weaving through traffic like they're playing GTA.
Yeah.
And they just floor it in front of you. Like they're just going like 90. And then you get to the stoplight and they're in front of you. And you're like,
good job, man.
yeah. Didn't make it too far. But you know, A for effort.
Oh, by the way, I spoke with Liz about those fans several weeks ago. Could you send them with my build? I know it's not standard. I have stuff for future builds. or for micromatic. Oh, mark it down on your sheet. Actually, Nick, can you hand me those fans?
Which what
The
fans?
big fans that you just set out.
Oh, they want the big fans?
Yeah.
Well, I agree with that.
Throw them in your box here.
Because yeah, dude, those big fans, if you buy them separately, they're like $50 a piece. Almost like 40 and change. And that's the big selling point of the Torrent, is just nothing. Like, it's been the top of the charts on like airflow builds. It's been top on the charts on cooling. And then finally it was the Antec Flux that I've seen like get really close to tying it. I'm just waiting for a Torrent 2, man. One thing that also made me upset is when they did the North XL, they made it big enough for those 200 mil fans, but they only put the rail support in on the top for exhaust, not the front. And I was like, man, if I could have gotten the North with those 200 mil fans, that would have been a game changer.
Do they come with the North XL or whatever?
Yeah. If he wants those fans ever, he's gonna switch the air cooling. Do you have like a little Ziploc baggie? You can take that off. Those have to go with it. And these extra screws have to go with it. Because that's the frame for the fans. TJ, for some reason, TJ and Jacob do not like. I was just talking shit about you. I was saying for some reason TJ and Jacob do not like building in the Torrent,
No, I hate it.
and I just find it to be like one of the
Nick loves it.
easiest cases. Dude,
We put the Torrent in the model lineup for Nick.
well, Jack built one yesterday, and he said it was super fun and easy.
Oh, good. Jack can build all mine.
Dude, this case is easy. Where do you find the issues?
For what?
I said, where do you run into issues?
I don't like mounting the AIO on the front.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying like, but the case that has nothing to do with the case,
Yeah, that's everything to do with the case. I don't like mounting
because that's the
AIO on
order.
front.
I'm saying like if you got a normal like D15 build in here.
Look, if I did a Knockwood, NHD 15S or something in there, it's freaking great. It saved me. I don't like all the mods that you need to do the AIO on the front. And I really don't like the top mount power supply either.
Oh, it's so easy to cable though.
Yeah, but I don't like it. I've just built thousands of PCs with the power supply on the bottom, putting it at the top just makes me, yeah.
But yeah, they do make it a lot of. I will say in TJ's defense, they do put a lot of extra steps into this case. If you're gonna put an AIO or liquid cooler in here, because the case was, even though it can do AIOs, it was designed around the idea of high performance air cooling. That doesn't mean air cooling's better in it. They're both going to perform close to the same. It's just the case mechanically was designed around air cooling. The only thing I will say, it's not the case, it's the motherboards. I don't like how motherboards are putting the USB Type Cs and front header USB ports on the bottom of the boards instead of on the side, because so many of the cable routes and like the length of those cables are measured for them being on the side, like under the 24 pin. Now, that is something I have to work around.
Right, see for 1 second.
Cool. Yeah, yeah.
Unless I'm doing custom water cooling build for family or an AIO for high DGP CPU, I've pretty much given up on water cooling. If it's not necessary, just give me an air cooler all day. Aesthetics begin. Hey, dude, I love the look of a big beefy air cooler. I actually think it looks great. I love seeing it. But yeah, performance wise, unless like, because overclocking's kind of gone. Like CPUs have gotten so fast now that other than for like competition reasons, like people just doing, going for scores, overclocking's kind of faded. So air cooling now, like I have a D15 at home and I just have it like it's overkill too because I have a 7800X 3D. D15 is totally overkill for that. But it really is to the point where the really big difference between AIOs and air cooling now is the acoustics. So like if you put a 9950X 3D on a new D15 G2 and a 360 rad, it's still gonna hit. It's not neither of them are gonna thermal throttle it. It'll still hit its boost clock, but the liquid cooling might be a little quieter depending on the fans you have on there. So that's really the big trade-off is acoustics now. But performance, air cooling's great. Like CPUs have gotten a lot more efficient too. So they're doing more, but not demanding as high of a power draw. So they're just not getting as hot. Like I think my 9800X3D hits like 65, 70 watts. So on a D15, if I put that thing under load, I hit like 65, 70 degrees Celsius. And that's, like I said, that's more than enough. Yeah, like when Ryzen 1 and 2 were out, overclocking was still kind of a thing, but now they're just so fast to where like you can still do it, but gaming wise, it's not going to give you the huge performance boost it used to, 10 years ago. I remember getting my first chip to 5 gigahertz, and it was like such an accomplishment for me. And now that's just like standard speeds. Sorry guys, you're gonna have to look at the cables for a bit because, nah, I'm gonna need it like this so I can put this cooler on right. Like I said, sorry, you're gonna have to look at the cables for a little bit. Yeah, see, Witty, that's kind of like what I feel too, is that like that Thermalright, dude, that's gonna destroy the 7800X 3D. Like that's gonna cool it. It's gonna be no issues whatsoever. And then yeah, on the off chance for some reason a fan goes out 5-6 years from now, you spend 15-20 bucks, you buy a new fan, and that's it, done. Because it's literally just a piece of metal. So the fans are the only like point of failure on an air cooler. Like AIOs are still good. Like they're still good in their last. Like if as long as you take care of them, dust out, they'll last. It's just like I said, I'm just very on my personal builds, low maintenance. So if all I have to worry about is 2 fans, that's not a big problem for me. Oh, the scythe coolers are great, dude. The Puma 3, I really like the design with the slim fan in front and then the 140 in back or in the middle. That's what I put that on my buddy's computers, this Puma 3.
What's up, Domo?
Before I forget to take this peel off. My son tried getting on the PC I got from y'all. After about 5 minutes, he says, "This is so much better than my Xbox." Now he's determined to get his own PC.
Hell
Hey,
yeah.
there's always a time to start. I mean, honestly, even if he like saves up and gets an Auxilia, like if I'm guessing if he's a kid, or not a kid, but younger, he's probably more into the competitive scene. At least how kids I grew up with were and how I was. The younger I was, a little more competitive I was. And the cool thing is you could easily get an Auxilia here. You could save up, pick up an Auxilia, and it will be 1080p opposed to like consoles where it's upscaled 4K. But the FPS will be a lot higher. And if he plays like Marvel Rivals, Valorant, Counter-Strike, anything like that, that's a great system to get started off with. This is my least favorite part, is getting all of this to line up. Oh man, of course, there's one little cable right there in my way, God. Whew.
Woody Man Joe Man said, "I'm on temporary ban from the Montech subreddit. They announced the new NX 400 cooler was out. I said I was excited, but not so much about the dual power NX 600. They asked why. I said it's DOA due to Thermalright's Royal Knight. The twin fan on the RAM side has complete coverage of the tower. I told them no matter what, you'll have to offset the RAM side fan. Therefore, you lost performance before you begin temporary ban."
Spitting facts.
Oh, did you get a warning or whatever, Woody Man? Don't worry about that.
No warning, they just banned him.
Yeah.
They're like, listen, dude, you can't.
Our boss, not our bot, is a little zealous sometimes.
Yeah, it's crazy how Thermalright has just come out of nowhere, and they've really been killing like the price performance cooler game. My favorite game. Find the hole. It's hard when you can't see it. Nope, gotta loosen him a bit because I gotta lift this up a bit. And after this, build will be easy peasy. This is the only part.
How's the PC going? He asked.
PC is good. All the front panel connectors are plugged in. That is all good to go. We are putting on our radiator right now. Then after the cooler, it's literally just power supply and graphics card.
Reamer says good work.
Thank you. I've had my fair share of practice. Every time a fractal design case comes in, TJ will just walk over and throws it on my desk, and then so I get to practice. But that's just because I'm also Noctua and Fractal. Those are the two. That is what I'm a shill for. So right now I have a Dan case, but 99.9% of the time, my setup is always going to be a Fractal design case and Noctua fans. And other brands are still great. Other brands are great. I'm not better. I just like Fractal. It's just that loyalty. I just always have loved their designs. My first case was their Define series. And they just have an aesthetic that I like. Because for the most part, the Torrent is a little like over designed, but I love it. But I like that their cases don't scream. I'm like one of those gamers that hates the scream gamer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if someone can walk into my house and see my PC and not just automatically assume, like, they could look at my PC and think it could, like, oh, this could be an office machine. This could be, that's what I like. I don't like someone coming in and being like, oh, you're a gamer. That's the aesthetic I go for, is like that just stealthier thing. And Fractal always has this, like the Meshify series is a little design too on that front panel, but for the most part, it is just a square. And I don't know. Brad, I know, really likes that ridge.
Yeah. Redmer says, you're welcome, man. I spent so much black paint on my PC when building it. Thankfully, it was where you couldn't see.
Oh, yeah, that'll happen.
Woody Man Go Man says, I got 4 more builds to do after mine and the wife's. I like to do spare part builds with leftover components from other builds, usually stuff that I or the client wants to substitute. So I build them and sell them cheap with all brand new parts. It expands my base to get the higher tier build requests. It evens out, feels more like a public service.
I've done that. So like we have I have a little ITX system in my in a Fract Design Terra. And that was just spare stuff. That was just so if we go down to the living room, or if we go to go down in the living room, go to hotels or anything, just have a little PC with us. And that was all just like passed down like parts. It was like a 3060 Ti, still a good card. Ryzen 5 3600X. And yeah. And so I think that's actually great too. Like if you have friends or anything, girlfriend that needs a PC, first computer kid, one of the best things you can do is like, Brad just had a 3080. He upgraded to a 5070 Ti. If he was a good man, he'd give that 3080 to his wife so she could enjoy it.
I am.
I know. I know you are. That's why I made that joke knowing you would already do that.
I haven't installed it yet.
But like that's kind of the good thing. Like you have a kid, let's say, yeah, like a 3080 is still a great graphics card. So like if I'm upgrading, dude, give it to my kid, give it significant other, and then you always have that constant you owe me one hovering over them.
Yeah.
Dude. Like look, honey, the only reason you can even sit down and decompress today is because of the 3080 I gave you. So remember that. I could take it away just like that.
Yeah. I built your PC, I can take it out.
I have a small photography business. I mean, if you have photography though, I'm assuming, do you have to, like, if you travel though, I feel like for photography, would you have to drive around and stuff for photos, especially if you're like showing them to clients or anything like that? So a laptop might not be bad, but you could also get like a small, I was showing not Brad, but Jacob, there's a really cool ITX case that's like, it's literally like this big. And there's a handle, like it's just long enough for the board and just long enough for like a dual fan 5060, and that's the exact width of the case. And you just put a fan on top
the Xbox looking one, right?
I'll show you, but it has like a handle, and you can screw the handle in on top to carry it, or you can screw the handle in on the side and use it as like a headphone mount. And like you could get like a little ITX system like this big that could still blow a laptop out of the water. And travel around with that. But then you need a monitor and stuff. You have to hook it up too. That's always the issue. Because I actually know somebody who spent all this time, because they were done with using laptops for work, and they traveled and showed people stuff. So they spent like $2,000 building a little ITX system.
Yeah.
And then they realized, oh shit, I have to carry like a monitor and keyboard and mouse every place I go.
Yep.
But man, I love ITX builds. Okay. Uh-oh. Nothing bad. I think I missed one screw. I did.
Uh-oh.
I mean,
At least it got it.
fans would not have fallen out. Case would have been, this isn't a, this is definitely not a House of Cards PC. Most of the portfolios on the iPad, yeah, I mean, get like a little small ITX machine. Because if it's just like photography and stuff, you could get like a 7600X or an i5 14600K still, because they're still really good. Like the 14 series and then like the new Ultra series, they're really close. So, and you could do that and just get like a little 5060 Ti build, 9060 build, either of those GPUs, and honestly make like a little tiny ITX machine that you can throw on your desk, or if you want, carry it to the living room and hook it up to the TV. Get one of those lap pads that you can put the mouse and keyboard on, and do all of that. I'm getting a laptop. Any recommendations? Honestly, I do not right now. I don't really keep up with laptops. It's just, I don't, like, I know the hardware that can go in laptops, but I can't keep up with the performance of it. Because obviously, if you see a laptop that says like 5090 laptop GPU, usually the laptop version is like, let's say a 5090, that might perform like a 5070 desktop GPU in gaming and stuff. So
Yeah.
So I don't really keep up to date with the performance. It's just I don't use laptops, and I'm just trying to think. But the most I could say is like check out like Short Circuit is a good channel. That's an off channel of Linus Media Group. Short Circuit, LTT, like they'll do a lot of laptop reviews, which are pretty good. And I would just pick that. But yeah, laptops, like I said, it's just not something I follow, so I just wouldn't be someone to ask and trust my answer. But if you're doing photography, the one thing I could say that would probably be most important for you over the hardware in the laptop, the monitor, because I would get an OLED panel for sure if you're doing photography. because you want the most accurate colors and contrast. Anything with photography and video editing, the monitor is the screen is one of the biggest points to pay attention to. So when you're looking at specs, look at that. You want to know the color accuracy. Like I said, I would go OLED, and that is something you will need. Not need to do that.
Oh snap!
Oh, what happened?
Snap what's up on Twitch?
Hell yeah, dude.
Snapped Key has been a ranking member for 1 month.
Totally not Jacob says, is this the Krusty Krab?
I feel like I should get that joke, but I don't. Knowing Jacob. I'm assuming it's SpongeBob.
Yeah.
I never
No, this is Patrick.
I never got into SpongeBob as a kid.
Really?
Just never did.
SpongeBob was great.
I like saw episodes, but I just never got into it. And I didn't think it was bad. It was
What
one
was
of
your go-to show as a kid?
me,
Yeah.
the 97 Berserk, One Piece, what was it, Blue Gender? What did I watch as a kid? I mean, One Piece and Dragon Ball, obviously. Nickelodeon, Fairly Odd Parents. But I didn't watch a lot of Nickelodeon. I was always more of a mature kid. So I liked real story. Like if I was 9 years old right now, I would probably still be more entertained by watching like Breaking Bad than SpongeBob. I just always had that mindset. So like Blue Gender was like a really dope mech show back in the day. Berserk, still one of the best manga series of all time. Rest in peace. Like that's one of the few mangas I still actually have to like read, because there's never been a faithful adaptation made. Never been anything good on TV, and it is a crime. So like that was actually one of the first mangas I started reading as a kid too, was Berserk. It was messed up, but it was actually really cool. And
I never watched Berserk.
like the 90s series is the best one. It's still not great. It is just the best because they tried doing other arcs later on, but they had that weird, like, do you know like that YouTube show Ruby? Nah, it had like that weird.
Oh yeah.
It had that weird PlayStation 1 cutscene, like 3D animation look.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't look good. I hate like animated 3D stuff. Not like Pixar, that's different. Like that's fine.
Yeah, but like the anime that's
Yeah, the
more
3D
3D-ish.
anime. It looks like an old PlayStation cutscene. It just doesn't look good. And like the animations are always choppy. Like the animations are not fun to watch. The original Baki the Grappler, that was a show I watched as a kid. Because that's another one I can't get in. I've tried. I can't get into like the newer Baki series. I just don't like the animations. I understand it's great. I just can't get into it. Lupin the Third, amazing. That was a kid show I liked. Or not, it wasn't a kid show, but that was a show I liked as a kid. Nickelodeon though, it's like I liked Fairly Odd Parents I would watch. And then Cartoon Network, I'm sure there's other shows out there I can think of. I liked Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Yeah.
No one talks about Foster's
Steve.
anymore, but I liked Eduardo.
Yeah, Eduardo.
But Foster's was good. But yeah, I just never. That was never really my thing. I just didn't.
Do you think Frankie was an imaginary friend?
I'm trying to think of scenes to like contradict that because it's been so long. Chalk Zone was a good one too. I could like
Chalk Zone? Oh, yeah. That one I never got into, but I did watch it every once in a while.
Is there peer pressure for them to stick to precisions or what? What?
Woody. Oh, okay. I've always advocated for gaming laptops and PCs built with NVIDIA 60 Ti series should be marketed to engineer students and engineers. It's a customer base that no one is exploiting right now. I've sold so many engineering students on these setups. It's crazy.
Well, we actually for a bit. Do we still have the What was the not the Auxilia? What was the Actuarius? Do we still have that?
It's been kind of replaced by the artifacts.
Because we have like a more budget friendly, like school office friendly PC.
Looks good to me.
Looks good.
Yeah. I mean, you packed it very well. Cool. I'd say the only thing I'd recommend is like the open cavities between this pack. Just like shove newspaper in it.
Okay.
Or something because it helps it just from not moving.
Okay.
Well, I feel bad if he's already put it all in there, but I'd say like it'll ship. Like I talked to a tech, I think it'll ship fine. The only thing he would recommend is filling cavities with loose paper, anything.
Okay.
Oh, dude, I saw this. I'm just grinding, like looking at different products, especially new stuff with Computex. I didn't know Thermalright owned like all their shit. They own all their warehouses. They own all their products, all their materials. They own it
That's
all.
probably why they're so like
That is
not
why
cheap.
No,
but-
but that's why they said they can be more price competitive.
Yeah,
We own everything. Like we don't have to pay
'Cause-
anyone. We
yeah.
can pay our bills.
because Thermalright, they are cheap, but they're not cheap in terms of quality and performance.
A lot of their new stuff, they made like a Trikes competitor. It's like $200, and you can have it's an interchangeable OLED.
That's really cool.
So you can have one that's like a panoramic, or you can have one that has that curved edge.
That's really cool. Yeah, I love Thermalright, dude. Like it's one of those things that I'm all about performance. So like if let's say I had a $1,500 budget,
Yeah.
I would blow as much of that budget I could on the CPU and GPU. Like if I had a $1,500 budget,
Jumping into the case.
I'd get like a 9070 XT. That's $600. I'd get a 7600X or 9600X if I was just starting, and I would just get a Thermalright cooler, and I would just add RGB and stuff if I wanted it later on. But that's just how I am. I would totally buy a Thermalright cooler if I was like building a PC in that price range because it's dude, they're great. The Phantom Spirits I really like too.
They made a air cooler.
Yeah, like dude, if they can compete with Noctua, like if they can make a really beefy cooler and like make it like $50, that'd be game changing. Is that the Arctic Liquid Freezer 3? Yes, this is the RGB variant.
Is it the Pro?
I have to see the box. I think it was.
I think we get the Pro one now. So technically it's not. Technically, we're not taking it down.
Yeah, I've always liked Arctic AIOs too because they make the radiator a little thicker. So the cooling, it doesn't seem like it would do a big deal, but it does actually help a bit on the cooling. Yeah, you're using it in your build. Yeah, the freezers are great liquid coolers, man. Arctic makes great products. They had one, I think it was Arctic. They did have one wonky air cooler where it actually looked like it was made out of ice.
Yeah.
Like there was a plastic shell over the fans and it looked like ice crystals. That one didn't do so hot. But other than that one thing, and I think that was Arctic, but I'm like only 80% sure. But other than that, Arctic is killing it. I miss our eSport Duo coolers, man. Those were so easy to install. They were nice. But yeah, dude, back to Thermalright. I mean, Thermalright is so competitive. Like I said, I'm a Noctua guy, but I'm a Noctua guy strictly out of I've been using Noctua forever and it's brand loyalty. But Thermalright does make it really hard to like justify $120 for an air cooler because they're just so great for their price. Like if I didn't have brand loyalty in me, I would probably have Thermalright coolers.
Yeah.
In my builds. One thing I want to see, Fractal's making a new AIO. And it looks really clean. And they're trying to get rid of pump issues because it's not an Asetek design. It's actually their own. And they put the pump, you can't see it, and it doesn't stop airflow because it's where the center of the fan is.
Yeah.
And they put the pump in the radiator. So the pump's always on the radiator all the time.
Yeah.
And that is actually a really smart idea. So I really want to try one of those ones. Be Quiet's another brand. Like if Noctua was out of stock, I love Be Quiet fans. Or Fantex. Fantex makes good fans too. It is insane to me. Like just going from 30 and 40 series to 50, how light this 5080 is.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm gonna hit myself in the face because I go to pick it up expecting it to be like a 10-pound box, and it's like a pound and a half.
What's up?
It's garden season. You like radishes?
Yeah, I love radishes.
I got a whole bunch.
Alright.
They're like perfect.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Alright.
I'll bring them in.
Cool.
They're just sitting in like a jar in my fridge right now. I don't know how to keep them all. So
Oh yeah. Alright.
I think I picked them a couple of days ago, but I have a bunch more coming in. I'm just trying to afford to. They grow like weeds.
Yeah, they grow like 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, they have a 21 day from plant to harvest.
Oh wow.
But my pepper plants would get huge, dude.
Are they?
I just keep flicking off all the flower heads, sitting those things.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I fucking flushed my back yesterday. Look at that. Pinky.
Damn, what did you do? Where were you?
Gardening.
Oh my god.
I was ripping out weeds and I mounded all my potatoes. Because if you like bury some of the potato plant,
Yeah.
it's growing, you actually make it grow better. But there's a lot more shit than I thought.
What's your take on water cooling PC? Are you talking like AIO or full liquid? I mean, if we're talking full liquid, my take, they look great. And like, but I think like you either have to have a lot of disposable income, like just a ridiculous amount of disposable income, or you work for like Pixar or something and you're just doing nonstop like heavy 3D rendering to justify that cooling. Because they do look really cool, but man, just like the tubes and the pumps, like just the equipment specifically for the water cooling portion is as much as just a second gaming PC would be. And like if you're just looking at gaming, the performance uplift is very minuscule in terms of FPS. Like, so it's not really something you do for gaming performance. It's something you do for either aesthetics and acoustics, or if you're someone, like I said, if you work for like was it Weta FX and you're rendering out 800 frames of Thanos in Endgame, yeah, then you'll probably want like a beefy liquid cooled system. But that's how I feel. I feel like full custom loops, it's either just disposable income or you actually have like a job that demands it. AIOs, same thing. AIOs like this is very much an acoustic thing. So like it's not really gonna, you know, this is a what 9800X 3D. So on this, it's not gonna like you know, give you 20 extra frames or anything like that. And an air cooler isn't gonna thermal throttle it either, like a normal like a Thermalright Peerless Assassin, right? Like a 2-tower cooler. That's not gonna. Neither of them are gonna thermal throttle it. So at that point, you're just. It's the aesthetics. If you like the more open design, or acoustics, like you want something that's just a little quieter. If you don't, you know, don't like the sound of fans when they ramp up. But like most air coolers too, they just give you fan clips. And with those fan clips, you can put usually any 120 or 140 fan on them. So a lot of times, even if you get, like if I got a Thermalright Peerless Assassin, great cooler, I could take those fans off of it and put Noctua fans on, and then it would be dead quiet. I'm having an issue with my gaming PC. It keeps popping up random command prompt. Do you have a tip? The only thing I can think of, because I've had it in games, if there's an accidental shortcut on your keyboard that was set up, or if there's a shortcut that's being hit to trigger command prompt. Because I have gotten that before, but it was usually me hitting something on my keyboard. All right, so this cable, we are going to top route it. Of course, it's going to stick. No. Don't get stuck, bro. There you go. I'm not a fan of that. This guy's really short. Where's the other one? The other one's not any longer. Huh. We don't have blue 12 volts extensions, but we do a black one. Look at that.
Hey.
Wow.
What do you know? It's not pre-planned.
Golly. Yeah. Luck. Yeah, you don't want a cable too tight. Now we can actually route it under like normal. Yeah, I think this case is so easily cabled too, man. I love it. Things up. Zip ties gone. All right, we are good to go. Let's see if this guy powers on. The final trial. That's the one thing I do like about larger cases is if there's something going on, it's a lot easier. Or like, not even larger cases, but larger blacked out cases. Because there's not a lot of cables. When something goes wrong, it's really easy to find the issue. ITX systems, I have a heart attack when it doesn't turn on right away. Because usually like ITXs, you pre-plan it in your head. You know, you get like a, you blueprint it in your head, the order of operations to do everything so it looks clean. You do that order of operations, and then when it doesn't work, you have to basically work backwards and undo everything until you get to the point, and then redo it. All right. Actually, you know what? We will have it kind of come over here, so that way you'll be able to see. Bam. Check this guy out. I love it.
Looks good.
I actually really like those MSI 5080s, man. I'm a big fan of rectangles, guys. Plain rectangle. But I think that the gold, or like the brassy gold look, it's like a mix, dude. It's really hard to pinpoint because it's like a goldy, brassy copper. It's really weird. And that would look good in like a North or an A3 with the wood front. Like that would be, or like a Pro Art.
Mm-hmm.
You seen the Pro Art cases, man? They're huge.
I don't know if I have.
Massive. Ginormous. I mean, they're not like one of those like PCs that are like dual systems that look like a.
Oh shit.
Yeah. They're not one of those systems that look like a. What do you call it? Mini fridge. But these Pro Art cases are huge.
Like Alex's PC.
Yeah, that he definitely shoved a Husky into. That's a 140 pan, I believe. On the
Oh wow.
So.
420. Wow.
Yeah, look at how tiny the graphics card is in there. Like, that's how huge they are. Well, I mean, Pro Art, they're designing that
You know why random commands popping up? Is it a virus?
I mean, unless you download anything. I know what happened here. Fans started to ramp up. And I keep forgetting that on this Arctic case, you don't plug it in to pump. You plug it in to CPU fan. That is a little thing I didn't know about, and I recently learned.
Oh, why do you do it different on?
I don't know. Why they have it set up that way, I don't know.
Huh.
There we go. Now it's quiet. See, I like the power supply on top, man, because I like having just that complete open ventilation on the bottom for your graphics card. And it's like, once it's hooked up and installed, you don't notice.
Yeah.
But do you see how tiny that little like 58, 4080 or whatever is in that Pro Art? That case is just
It's massive.
huge, dude.
Massive.
I could fit a pizza in there and have it heated up.
Do you approve of my parts list? Any recommendations? 7600X.
Wait. Yeah, I can see it real fast. Napoleon. I'll read the parts list off, but just let me know what your what's your target? Like, what's your target resolution and like what types of games you play? Because that's always like the first thing. The first thing when you're building a build is just knowing the use case of it. Because like 7600 great CPU, 9060 XT, 16GB, really good 1080p AAA title, 1440p 60 GPU. Fortnite 1080p, high FP, yeah, perfect, great build. Like, but I would check, because there are some times on your CPU, there are actually some times where I have seen the 9600X cheaper than the 7600X, and it is a bit of a performance uplift. So if the price is really close, I would go with the 9600X. Tough B850M plus Wi-Fi. That is the same board I have at home. Great board. Mainly the reason I picked that board is because it has 3 M.2 lanes. A lot of MATX cases have 2. And I had 3 SSDs. Arctic Freezer 3.
He's 1080p, very high FPS, and 4K.
240. So here's where I start thinking. I'm gonna wrap around because I gotta talk to Brad. But here's where I start to like process, and I'll show you guys how I do my builds when I'm picking out parts, because that is a good build so far. Brad, pull up Amazon. Amazon isn't the end-all be-all on price, but at least gives me a range. Type in Arctic Freezer 3, 240. All right, 87. All right, go up. 6. 87. So 9600 is 178. Okay, no. Yeah, great build. So the one thing I was looking at is I just wanted pricing on CPUs. Because the Freezer 3 is a really good cooler, especially the RGB one. But this is just how I build is, like I said, a Peerless Assassin air cooler is like $35. And that could also cool a 9600X no problem. But that, and if you did that, could give you a $50 difference towards the internal components. So I was just like, what if we could, like if I could get a Peerless Assassin and use that $50 difference to upgrade to like a 9700X, that's what I would do, because I just get a little stronger CPU, and that cooler is still more than enough to run that thing.
Yeah.
But that difference didn't work out. So if you like the look of the Freezer 3, perfect. Like, it's a great build. But that's just how I look, is I like always put every dime I can into my GPU and CPU, and then like a decent motherboard. So Wi-Fi is always good to have, just because it also gives you Bluetooth. So even if you use Ethernet, I would get a Wi-Fi board for the Bluetooth, because it's always going to be better than like the little Bluetooth USB dongles. I also just like the aesthetic of the AIO. Yeah, cool. Like, that's also like a big point. I was just showing you how I usually, I was giving you guys a insight of how my brain works. Yeah, the board is a MATX. Yeah, I have the same board. I had the North. One of the M.2 lanes died on my board, and the only board I could find that wasn't like crazy expensive in this moment, because there must have been a motherboard rush of some sort where they just shot up in price, was that tough B850M. So I got that, and then I downsized my case to an MATX case to fit it. But yeah, I have the same board as you. I picked it 'cause it has 3 M.2 lanes. I have 3 SSDs, and then all the other features I need. And honestly, like the 850 series is great. Like if you're not overclocking and you're just going to use like a 9800X 3D or lower on CPUs, the B650 and B850s, that's all you need. Those are great motherboards. So yeah, that is a really well thought out build for like 1080p competitive gaming. And like I said, the 9060 XT will still have access to FSR4. So you could still do 1440p 60 FPS on like AAA single player games. Deladova, hey, it's going good, man. Just finished up this build. Now I got to get set up for programming, so that way we can ship it out.
Yeah. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the stream today, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll be back Monday at 3 p.m. CST with another build. What is this one?
Yeah, that is a Legionnaire.
Yeah, so we got a custom for Monday. It'll be pretty sweet. But yeah, have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll see you Monday.
Have a good one, guys.